What's up, everyone? Brian Bird Guy here. UFC 217 is November 4th, 2017 in Madison Square Garden. This looks to be the best card of the year and potentially could be the greatest card ever. Right now, the consensus pick for best card ever, UFC 205. That was also in Madison Square Garden. That was UFC's first event in Madison Square Garden. Conor Alvarez main event. Joanna, Carolina, Woodley, Wonderboy was the co-main event. You had Yoel and Chris Weidman. You had Raquel Pennington, Misha Tate. You had Frankie and Jeremy Stevens on the prelims. You had Khabib and Michael Johnson on the prelims. Phenomenal card. 189 is also up there as well. You know, Robbie and Rory. There was a couple flying knees. Thomas Almeida flying knee on Brad Pickett. Obviously, you had Chad Mendes, Conor McGregor. I forget who else. There was another flying knee on that card. Was it Jeremy Stevens had a flying knee? Someone else had a flying knee on that card. There was I keep saying card. You know my Canadian accent. That was the best card ever, 205. This 217 looks like to be the best. Now there's 218 and 219 in December. Those don't have any fights any fights for that. I know Chris Cyborg, he's looking for a fight in Vegas. That's the 219 card. 218 is Detroit. And then 216's in Vegas. That's Stipe Kane. That's a decent card. But 217 looks like to be the best card of the year. You got Bisping, GSP. You got Cody, TJ. There's talks of JJ and Rose on that card. I'm sure Woodley wouldn't mind being on that card. There's another. Max Holloway, Frankie Edgar. That's rumored to be on that card too. So if there's a way to have 5 title fights on the main event, that'd be fucking incredible. But the fact that Bisping, GSP, and Cody and TJ is on that card will do really well. It's the second event in Madison Square Garden. Like I said, 205 was the first event. I think 207 will do at least $1 million. With GSP alone, it'll do probably around $1 million. He's not as big a name as he once was. He's been away from the sport for the last 4 years, so he's still a big name in the sport, still a big name in Canada. And overall, he's a big name, and this is a big fight with Bisping, who's a big name in the UK. So overall, it could be a lot of pay-per-view buys. And then the Cody TJ angle with the shit talking between Alpha Male and TJ. That'll do a lot of selling. And if say you had Rose and JJ, that's a big card, a big fight. For this card. Max Holloway and Frankie Edgar would do a big card, especially with Frankie being from New York. You throw Chris Weidman in the mix there. This card could be the best card ever. I'm very looking forward to it. UFC always puts on good events in November. Last year was 205 in November. 1 year they had St. Pierre and I think St. Pierre Condit or St. Pierre Diaz in November. St. Pierre Hendricks was in November. They always put on good cards in November. UFC 91 way back in 08 was in November. November is my birthday month, and UFC usually has an event around that time. This year it's like a fight night around my birthday. And then 217 is November 4th, so it's near my birthday, but not. You know, UFC 205 was what day before my birthday. So November is always a good month for me as far as being a fan. And 217 looks to be stacked. UFC's put a few events in New York now since 205, and they've all done really well. So yeah, 217, it looks really good. More fights will be announced as the weeks go on. Probably hear a lot more in September about fights being announced for that card. But yeah, GSP, Bisping, Cody, TJ. I hope JJ and Rose is on that card. And then I think for Max and Frankie getting that card, that'd be pretty incredible. But I could see them fighting. There's a 218 card in December. It's in Detroit. It's like December 2nd. I don't know who they're going to put on that card. You just got to think of the champions left to fight. Frankie and Max are the big ones. Woodley still has a fight. You know, he could potentially face Lawler. Mighty Mouse is going to fight in September at 215 against Ray Borg. So I don't know, maybe he'd be ready for December. So there are some fights still for champions to be made, because now for December and even for November, to put on a 217 card. But so there's not too many fights left. You can kind of guess who might be on those 218 and 219 card. But regardless, whoever's on those cards probably won't match up to 217. 217 is stacked. I love fights in New York. John Jones recently said that he won't fight in New York because they tax fighters 9%. So maybe he'll be in Vegas or Detroit. So it'll be very interesting to see how the end of the year goes for the UFC. 217 looks good. Buy it, get it, watch it.